People don't value money, they get it anyway. That's what Grand Tour is. That's right. It's all about not valuing money. If you care about $12, do not play Grand Tour. Just kidding. Inside joke. Inside joke if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. The bankroll challenge from 12 to 60. No, it's not a bankroll challenge. The game itself is actually playing an individual sprint, not spin and go. And what you actually win from that is the ability to continue without buying into the next level until you get to the 60s, and then you're playing for your own bounty value. So we cover both these players. Let's go ahead and min raise this up. We don't recognize anybody on this final table. This is a pretty good spot for us usually. Amigos Kiev, thank you. I mean, you're doing pretty good when you're on a table with a bunch of players that you don't recognize in Grand Tour, because you know there's a good chance they were coming from the lower stakes, maybe not as experienced. This is always going to be a bet for me. I'm always going to bet this kind of a texture, even multi-way. I don't want to go big at all, though. I'm not expecting them to fold anything, really, but I know that this kind of a texture is going to be more favorable for my range than for theirs. So we should get loads of folds for that nice small sizing. We really only need this bet to work like less than a quarter of the time in order to be profitable, and it absolutely will. Look at the size, guys. Look at the size. 90. 90. Not even 1/3. Today's the day, PS Prof. Hopefully. Shit. 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry. That's not what you want. I knew that was going to happen as well. I knew I was going to get that parcel right then and there. All right, so we do have everyone covered here. King, Queen of Spades is a very nice hand, too. We're going to do this. Probably going to call a shove as well if he puts it in after we put the 300, but we'll think about it when that happens. Wow, the big blind just flats. Obviously, we're not folding this hand at this point. Just really small, right? 175, something like that. If we go small enough, we might convince them to shove with a hand like pocket eights. If they did this, I mean, they shouldn't really be flat in that pre, but... I mean, I guess we're putting it in. The flat here is really, really suspicious. Like, sometimes we'll just run into kings or whatever, but I guess we're getting this in, guys. Wish me luck. Nice. Definitely not a hand you're expecting to see there, but that's okay. $39 in the bank. I mean, he cold calls the 3-bet with queen 5 off in the big blind. I think that's probably noteworthy, right? I think that's definitely somebody that probably doesn't play a lot of hippers. Loosey goosey. Okay. Yeah, it was the door, PS Prof. Yes, that's correct, Gert. Yeah. So when you actually see the colors, I'm pretty sure we might even have a command in here. Thank you, Brooks. That was you took the command out of my head. Blue is the smallest, yeah. Cool. King Jack obviously not going anywhere. Oh my God. The run good is insane. He's using full pot, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? The full pot player of the universe. All right. We definitely want to make a note of that as well. Like going broke with King Queen there is totally standard, but the full pot sizing is going to be a huge tell. So open raise, SB versus BB, King Queen off, full pot, top pair, middle kicker, GT. Yeah, the cold call with the Queen 5 is pretty weird, right? But unlucky King Queen, that's definitely a cold deck for them. But the play makes it impossible for them to do anything other than that anyway, right? If you're gonna be in a situation where you're gonna be blasting in full pot when you make top pair, I don't think you're gonna have enough. You're not giving yourself enough of a spot to. You're not gonna give yourself enough room to get away from big hands. That's not really a spot where you'd get away, but also you're not gonna give yourself a good enough price to bluff in future as well. This could be a 10, but I think mostly it's gonna be a draw. So we're gonna put the top pair in right now, after they full pot there. I mean, as expected, this game has been particularly soft, right? The full pot donk bet fold situation there. I'm not even sure what to make of that. Okay, interesting. I mean, do we just shove the turn here? Okay, I guess not. There's not much point in that. The jack could definitely be bad, but there's not much point in turning your hand into a bluff, I don't think. Flop in the world, right? All right, guys, for the win. 7. Man, what a cold deck for us there at that point. He shoves 8 big blinds. We're never folding ace-7, obviously. Mr. McQueen, how's it going? Cool. King 10. Gonna go in over the limp. Come on now. Yes, please. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, it's a good color, too. All right. All right. Now we're playing some Grand Tour. That was Grand Tour number 35. That was our 35th win. And during the course of that game, we managed to take down $292.01. So just under a $300 finish. Not a bad little win there to start. But guys, not only are we going to play that game, but there's also another one to come because we've got another final back-to-back to play here as well. So we're going to jump straight into another one. Hey, Kati's here now. This is also not a good-looking table, guys. Lucas and Kati are both good players. I'm not sure if Lucas is actually part of the OP Poker community, but Kati certainly is. Don't recognize this person. Dame, there's no blinds timer. It goes by number of hands. Usually from the 12s and above, it's 6 hands per level, which I actually think is a really good way to do it. I much prefer that than the timer. Top pair situation. Sugizo, yeah, looks like it, right? Wow, big flop. I'm calling a raise on the river here as well if he wants to put more in. When we use this size, it's very enticing to try and convince our opponents to actually turn their hand into a bluff, right? So if we're gonna use that small size, we need to be aware of the fact that our opponents will try and exploit that, which is exactly what we're expecting from Kati. So we just snap him off on the river. Seems fairly standard. Now, Kati's sitting around 14, 12 big blinds effective here, so I like to try and implement some more of these limps that we've been doing recently. Seem to be really, really effective when we have this interesting bounty dynamic that we've been talking about a lot recently. Okay, 10 obviously isn't a great turn for us here, so we're going to slow it down a little bit. Could be looking at quads here, that would be pretty funny. Lucas certainly could have quads. Just gonna have a jack instead. Kind of an unfortunate river for us. Alright, so I guess we're probably calling here for the bounty, guys. Seems pretty clear to me. 666 as well. Yep, it's got to be a call. Unlucky Kati. $44.20. That was a pretty speedy one. What did he have when you had Jack 9? Let me just take a look at the hand. He had 5-4 of spades. He had no hand. He just bet flop and then slowed down and just made a pretty standard c-bet and then gave up. Thank you, Raksha. Okay, so we don't know a lot about this guy. We do know that we could probably just do stuff like this when the bounty is available and just sort of like simplify the equation. We know that we're definitely going to be able to do stuff like this to simplify this equation as well. Wow, big spot for us here. Potentially could get the bounty off him. This would be pretty sweet. Please have a jack. Please call with a jack. Yeah, so 5, that'd be 1,100, the 1,600. That's way too high. God, what a slow roll. Get out of here. I mean, that's a pretty good situation for us, right? Kind of balancing each other out here a little bit. Keeping both stacks nice and shallow. We could probably shove any 2 cards at this point. I don't think we have to necessarily, though. Lucky, we're starting from the 12s at the moment. That's what we're doing, experimenting with the different stakes. We did 3,000 at the 5, 3,000 games at the $5 stakes. Now we're doing 3,000 at the 12. And now we are heads up for another win, our second win of the day, guys. Against the player that we actually don't know that well. So it should be a pretty sweet spot for us, generally speaking. So far, they haven't really shown any propensity for wild play or anything too tricky. So A7. Tough spot. Could cost us a lot if he continues barreling here. Wow, half pot twice from the guy that hasn't really shown any aggression yet. I guess we're going to give him some credit here. Jory, how's it going? Big flop for ace king. Oh, it's such a sick run out for us. Oh man, Nick. God damn it. Wow. Nice hand, nice hand, nice hand. God damn it, Nicholas. Gotta do better than that, buddy. You gotta do better than that, buddy. All right, Grand Tour number 2 of the day. $19.46 from that pickup, but the total win during that session just now was congratulations, you have won the Grand Tour. Total own bounties 103, own bounty value 169.98. So a total won during this race was 273.28. Not too shabby. Very, very healthy little day there, especially given the fact that our graph obviously is showing us that we're running pretty far under EV.